It is Parshat Acharei Mot Kedoshim. We read two Torah portions today. Acharei Mot is the aftermath of the death of Nadav and Avihu, two children. And what did they do to warrant the death? The complicated nature of the text is because, number one, we don't understand what they did wrong. Number two, their death happens 3 Torah portions ago. And so what we do is we tell the story. We break up the story with 2 parshiot, Tazria and Metzora, laws about Metzora, the skin ailment, and the implications of childbirth, implications of having a body. And then we come back in to the story, which begins in the aftermath of the death of Nadav and Avihu. It's as if the Torah is saying, it's really hard to deal with this. The structure of society and the details of our ritual lives gives us the strength and stability with which to deal with the instability of life itself, the vulnerability of having a body. Acharei Mot continues to deal with the laws that design the ritual for the high priest on Yom Kippur. And I wanted to juxtapose these two ideas just for a moment. Acharei Mot is sort of the beginning of a story. But imagine that the first page of a story, of a novel, begins with, and then. Imagine a story that doesn't begin with once upon a time or with the beginning of the story. It begins with, and then, which means whatever we do now is a continuation of where we've been before. And if what we just dealt with in the Torah, what we just encountered, are the rules about our bodies as they are vulnerable, the implications of having a body, which is being referred to? The and then. Is it talking about the death of Nadav and Avihu? Is it talking about the universal implications of having a body? Or is it saying everything that came before this point brought us to here? Now that we know all of that, now that we are concerned and aware about the vulnerability of having a body, let's deal with Yom Kippur, which is the vulnerability of life itself. The high priest, who is the holiest person, goes to the Holy of Holies, the holiest place, on Yom Kippur, the holiest day. And all 3 holinesses combine. And given that what we've just encountered in the Torah is a recognition that we are all so vulnerable, this beautiful body that God has given each of us, an image of God refracted in infinite ways. During the time that we are blessed to have it, during the time that our souls are lucky enough to inhabit this world, what do we do? And the high priest's work on Yom Kippur was to enter into the most vulnerable place where intimacy with God could be so dangerous. Think about what happened when Nadav and Avihu, when they encountered the holy inexpertly. They died because they came too close. Something happened, and fire shot out from God. Yom Kippur is a moment on the Jewish calendar that we encounter this week. When we read this Torah portion, what will we do during our lifespans? What do we do with these fragile bodies that can accomplish so much good in this world? What do we do with holy time and holy space and holy intentions, especially now that we don't have a Holy of Holies? We have this holiness, embodied holiness. Looking at the prayers that we are offering, with Adrian for her husband's healing, with Deborah and a recognition of our bodies. Every morning we say a prayer. God, you gave me a body. It has pipes and openings in certain places, and those need to function, because if one of them does not, I don't know how I would go about my day. And as we grow and as we age, this prayer becomes even more intense, more real, because what we need in order to function is gratitude for what's working. As Deborah said, I am grateful for the parts that work. and that I can be here. So let's ask that question of each other, because acharei mot, in the aftermath of all we've learned, what now? What do we do with this body on this day, in this place? This can be the Holy of Holies. This can be the holiest day. This can be the holiest intention. That convergence isn't limited to Yom Kippur. We read about it this Shabbat. May we be so blessed to not miss the opportunity to utilize all of these holinesses, channel them through us. May we be grateful for what we have. May we be grateful for what works. May we be part of that great work. All right, friends. Let's take a breath, sing our way into a good day. One more time. Have a good day, friends. See you tomorrow.